Anybody that I've spoken to has sort of said that's not an area I wanted to start in, but I've stumbled into it and don't want to leave. And it's kept me here mainly because I just love the work that we do. I work in social services, so it's not a boring subject, as you can well imagine, and it's amazing to work in. And the team that I work with as well are fantastic.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Student Lawyer podcast series. Whether you're at school, sixth form, university, thinking about a career in law, or exploring law careers, you're in the right place. We are the one-stop shop for student lawyers. If you'd like to join the Student Lawyer as a writer, please email hello@thestudentlawyer.com. Welcome to the Student Lawyer podcast series. My name's Camilla. I'm a solicitor and I'm going to be your host for today. In today's episode, we are delighted to be joined by Rebecca Barton, insurance lawyer and president of tomorrow's Forum of Insurance Lawyers. In this episode, Rebecca will be providing insight into what being an insurance lawyer involves, what she enjoys most about her job, as well as how aspiring insurance lawyers can explore this area of law. Rebecca also provides insight into what her role as tomorrow's Foil president involves. So make sure you stick around to the end of the episode to hear all of that. Without further ado, let's welcome Rebecca onto the show. Welcome, Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, okay.
So I've got a few questions for you today, so let's jump straight into them. Could you please start by providing an overview of your career history to date?
So my career history didn't start in insurance law. Very much stumbled into insurance law. I started at a claimant firm years ago now, and moved on. I did road traffic collisions for years and years, and then I ended up stumbling into insurance by applying for the job where I am now at Forbes Solicitors, and yeah, it's been from there onwards really. But other than that, I've not really ventured into other areas. I did my LLB, my LPC, as probably most students do, and then stumbled into Silex and became a chartered legal executive in 2022. So, no, 2021. Nearly 3 years post-qualified, not 2 years post-qualified.
Oh, the time flies,
2021.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
the time flies.
2021, I qualified.
You know what? I think we could do a whole other episode on Silex, because I'd be so interested to hear about that route to qualification. But yeah, we'll leave that to another time. Fascinating that you have ended up in insurance law. I think maybe you've sort of answered this already, but what drew you to insurance law, or maybe what has sort of kept you in insurance law?
I stumbled into it, as I previously said. It's one of them areas that's not really advertised, especially at the LLB level and the LPC level. It's not really an area that everybody says, insurance law. When you say insurance law, everybody thinks automatically of the road traffic collisions, the car accidents, and all the insurance things and things like that. So when you say insurance law, and it's not just road traffic collisions. And so I think anybody that I've spoken to has sort of said that's not an area I wanted to start in, but I've stumbled into it and don't want to leave. So for me, it's kept me here mainly because I just love the work that we do. I work in social services, so it's not a boring subject, as you can well imagine, and it's just amazing to work in. And the team that I work with as well are fantastic. So yeah, that's my reasons for staying.
Well, it's lovely that you're so passionate about the area. It's really sort of coming across. So I'm really excited to find out more about the sort of work that you do. What sort of work will an insurance lawyer such as yourself typically get involved with?
So I work in social care, so we defend claims for social services. So we range from anything from child sexual exploitation right up to deprivation of liberty in care claims, things like that. And then we also run things like inquests as well. So we're not just dealing with one particular area. There's all sorts of different areas. We've got several different teams in our at Forbes. We've got things like fraud, who else? We deal with construction claims, sport claims, like I said before, inquests, massive inquest matters as well. Trips and slips, road traffic. There is such a vast area that we just deal with at Forbes that it's just so wide that there's never just one area to it. So you can end up in one area and then be split between something else as well. So yeah, it's great.
No, that sounds really interesting and really wide ranging. So do you think there are certain skills, interests, or personality traits that might make someone well suited to a career as an insurance lawyer?
I wouldn't necessarily say so. Our team, we are such a vast different personalities. All of us have got different personalities, different interests, things like that. So there's not just, I don't think there's necessarily one skill, just ready to learn more than anything, I think is the definite question. That's probably my answer actually, is definitely ready to learn. Because you've always got to learn, because the law changes so much, you've got to learn very quickly as to what's just changed and then apply it to what you've already got in cases and things like that. So I enjoy it for that reason.
Yeah, no, that's really good. It's similar to, I've recently qualified into tax, and I think that's maybe similar in a way that it's just always changing. So yeah, you have to be very willing to learn. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And so please can you tell us what FOIL is and what your role as tomorrow's FOIL president involves?
So FOIL is the Forum of Insurance Lawyers. It is a group of different law firms and things like that who look at the law, and specifically tomorrow's FOIL, we look at trying to get an interest generated from young insurance brokers, lawyers, students, things like that. And we try to reach out to them to show them that the insurance law in particular is a great area to work in. So that's what we try to do in terms of in like tomorrow's FOIL and things like that. And we are now trying to branch out and work with insurance brokers as well to try and get different people involved as well. So,
and if there are some listeners who are listening to this podcast today and are really interested in exploring insurance law but aren't sure where to start, what advice would you give to them?
I don't know the answer to that. Because I stumbled on it, it's a difficult question to answer.
Are there perhaps like mentors that you have at FOIL, or maybe someone that people can reach out to maybe?
We don't really have people who mentor at FOIL. That's not what FOIL's about. But certainly if anybody wanted to obviously contact me at Forbes and wants to like do work experience, sometimes work experience at a law firm might help, especially if one's got an insurance department. Have a research into that law firm, and if they've got an insurance department, think, let's have a look, have a go, see what it's about, because I bet you would be more interested than what you think you would be when you start out. Certainly it's not something I always wanted to do, crime, so it's completely vast into different interests. So and when you stumble on something like this, it's something that you then all of a sudden became really, really interested in, and you never want to walk away, unfortunately. Sometimes you think, I want to walk away. No, I don't. No, I actually don't. I want to be stuck here forever. So it's great. I love it. So
no, that's great. I'm sure the listeners will find that really helpful. I mean, do you know if there's any sort of insurance law like publications or websites that sort of have like updates, or even the news, I suppose?
Yeah, you see, FOIL, you've got to subscribe to become a member of FOIL, and they send you the updates and things like that. And they will send you like what we're doing and trials and things like that. So the publications mainly are just in their general students' way of thinking. It's all about the different. Obviously, it generates right back to tort law, I suppose, doesn't it? And that's where obviously insurance law generates back to, because that's what it is. And I didn't enjoy tort law, ironically, at university. But that's where it does generate from. And there are several cases that obviously, if you're interested, more than happy for you to send some cases out and people can have a look at them. No issues with that. If they want to contact me, then that's fine. Yeah. Again, it's not really a publicised thing. This is what we're trying to do with Foil. Is tomorrow's Foil is trying to publicise insurance law and make it a little bit more. Look, it's fun to work in. So.
Absolutely. No, it sounds like you're doing a fantastic job with that. I'd like to take a moment to speak about the University of Law, which is the university I decided to study my LPC at. The University of Law is the sponsor of this podcast and makes it possible for us to continue bringing these episodes to you. So we really appreciate you supporting us by supporting our sponsors. What really sets the University of Law apart from other universities is its belief in training students for the real world from the moment they accept a place. The University of Law's experienced career service and award-winning pro bono clinics offer students the chance to get real-life legal experience which can boost employability. They offer a range of undergraduate and postgraduate legal training and master's degrees designed by qualified experts to help students excel at any stage of their career. Their courses are employment-focused, honing key skills in a teaching environment based on real legal practice. Part-time and online study options are also available on many of their courses to help students work and study at the same time. If you'd like to find out more about the courses on offer, please click the link in the description box of the podcast. And I think, again, you probably answered this question, but what do you enjoy most about your job as an insurance lawyer?
There's never 2 days that are the same. One day you can walk in and you can be doing something and thinking, all right, I've got to pick up that task again. But then something could have happened and actually, your day's completely changed in one drop of an email or something like that. So it's never, ever boring and it's never, ever 2 days the same. So
keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, definitely that.
So is there any advice that you wish you could go back in time and give to yourself when you were a student or aspiring lawyer that you could share with our listeners?
I wish there'd have been more information about insurance law. That's part of the reasons why I'm glad I'm part of tomorrow's Foil, because it's nice to be able to get other people interested in it. There's not particularly anything I would go back as a student and think. It's just that there was never anything about it, especially when crime, family, and everything is pushed so hard on people that that's the areas that most people want to go into when they're doing law. No matter, I think everybody would tell you that right at the beginning. Yeah, I want to be a criminal lawyer or I want to be a family lawyer. But actually, now I wish that more people would have been available to speak to about insurance law, because that is something that I think that young lawyers should know about. So.
No, I completely agree. I had the same experience when I was at university. I think, criminal and family were two of the areas that I was interested in, simply because those are the areas that it's just seem the most accessible or have the most sort of I suppose advertised more widely. But it's a shame because there are other fascinating areas like insurance that students just don't know about. So again, fantastic work that you're doing, and hopefully our listeners will now be aware and can connect with you. So where can our listeners connect with you?
So if you want to just drop me, I'm on LinkedIn. There's obviously the Tomorrow's Foil LinkedIn page as well. We are looking at branching into other areas of social media, so that is something that's currently being discussed at Tomorrow's Foil, and how we can reach to a more vast audience. So I'm on LinkedIn, and by all means, if you want to put my email address up at the end, then by all means, I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody have got in terms of insurance law. So.
Thank you, Rebecca. That's been a really enlightening conversation. Thank you for sharing more about your career and insurance law. I'm sure it will help many of our listeners as they are transitioning from students to their legal careers. So thank you so much for being a guest on the show.
No problem. Thanks, Camilla.
And to all of our listeners, I will leave links to Foil's website and pages in the description box, and also to Rebecca's LinkedIn in the description box as well. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. To hear more of the Student Lawyers podcast,
hit the subscribe button and leave us a star rating and review. If you would like to join The Student Lawyer as a writer, please email hello@thestudentlawyer.com.